How we doing today, Sergio?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Exciting day, right?
Very exciting, very exciting. First NFT ever.
It's right.
So
Did you ever think you would be an official NFT artist?
no, not at all, man. Not at all. I feel like I feel like I just joined the 21st century. How about that?
Yeah,
You know,
you
I left
joked
the old
about that. Yeah, I thought you were going to send me a fax one day, right? So
right.
we probably got you. We got you into the next century.
Yeah.
So
I left my oil paints and my pencil behind, and now I've joined this awesome world of and interesting world of the crypto world,
that's
basically.
right.
But
That's
yeah, it's
right.
pretty cool.
Well, hey, it's awesome to interview you today. Obviously, you and I have worked closely together over the last couple of months, and not the first time you and I have jumped on a Zoom call. But thought we would just chat a little bit about our journey here and sort of how we got here, and then maybe share this with some of our audience. So, why don't we start here and just talk a little bit about your art background, right? So I knew you as a bonsai artist first and foremost, and always been such a huge fan. Your deciduous work is mind blowing. Always do such awesome and high quality work. And then it was like, oh, and now you're also a digital artist. But as I've gotten to know you, I would say maybe that the artist stuff started first. So tell us a little bit just about your art background, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit about the bonsai side.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So thank you for that sort of introduction and the kind words, Greg. And I'm so excited to be partnering with you on this whole NFT venture. But anyway, so yeah, the art came first, right before I even got sort of involved in the bonsai practice. And I studied, fine arts, and I got a bachelor's degree in fine arts at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn. And many years ago, I won't say it because it's going to date me terribly, but yeah. So ever since, I mean, art has been ingrained in me. I mean, ever since I was little, right? But it's been a part of me all through my entire life. And besides fine arts, I've sort of in my artistic career, if you will, I've worked on many different sort of I guess you can say creative sort of mediums like animation, television, branding, design, fine arts. I've always been very curious about all these, sort of exploring different artistic mediums. But yeah, that's my background, and of course, bonsai, the bonsai practice has been part of my artistic expression, if you will,
Sure.
in the
Yep.
past these 2 decades. So yes, you're right. I think some people know me as a bonsai artist, and they don't know my artistic background. But yeah, I definitely have that's really my trade, and I can say that definitely that sort of training has helped me figure out, at least artistically, the bonsai side of things. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, no doubt about it. My own bonsai experience really took off when I began to learn just the basics of
yeah,
design, right? I'm a numbers guy. And so, most of my early trees were just horrendous, right? So it wasn't until I started figuring out flow and all of this kind of stuff that it made sense. So I'm always jealous of people like yourself who come to bonsai with all of this design and art background. I feel like you guys have many legs ahead of us. Now, you worked at Nickelodeon, right?
it yeah.
And two-time Emmy award winner at Nickelodeon. Let's not forget about that. So talk to us a little bit about your time at Nickelodeon and what did you win Emmys for?
Well, I had a long history at Nickelodeon. I spent 25 years almost to the day
Wow.
working Nickelodeon, and at Nickelodeon, my sort of career sort of took a lot of twists and turns. My role there evolved through the years. I started as an illustrator back in the day, and if some of you guys out there listening to this and you're familiar with Rugrats, that's what I was sort of drawing. A lot of Rugrats I drew back in the and lots of it. My role sort of evolved through the years, and that's why I think I was there for so many years, because it always was interesting to me. There was never a dull day, basically. And so from there, I went more into design, then I went into branding, and in the last 4 or 5 years of my career at Nickelodeon, I was working on projects such as branding of one of their new hotels now in Mexico. And I was in charge of basically overseeing the entire sort of branding of the hotel. So it was an interesting, really, really challenging project, because it really call upon all of my expertise that I've been sort of, gaining through my 25 years. And I needed to know a little bit about consumer products. I needed to know a little bit about just simple design, branding. So even social media, and even the way the hotel presence was shown in social media platforms. So it was a super interesting job. And I look fondly back at my days at Nickelodeon. So that was really a big portion of my professional life.
Sure. Yeah.
Designer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Huge Rugrats fan. So that is super cool. It harkens me back, shows my age for sure. But and we'll switch gears, talk a little bit about Bonsai again. For many in our audience, they may know you very well when it comes to Bonsai, but talk a little bit about your journey into Bonsai, and what it is, what is it about Bonsai that is attracted to you and sort of your artistic endeavors?
Sure. So going back, when I was 15, I think right on my birthday, my parents gave me, let me just first say that I've always been not only interested in art, but since I was a little kid, 3 or 4 years old, I grew with my mom, little flowers in pots.
Yeah.
Always fascinated with plants, right? But when I was 15, my parents out of the blue just gave me a bonsai, because they knew I liked plants. But and I didn't know much about it. Many of us have that whole, sort of falling into that trap where they sell you a bonsai and they tell you, oh, just keep it in by the windowsill, spray it every single day, and it'll just do beautifully. And two weeks later, it died, right? Because I did a little bit of research. I became very dismayed, because I thought bonsai was something that few knew about it, and even less people knew how to grow them. I thought it was some kind of magical thing that nobody knew how to really basically grow these plants in little pots. So after doing a little research, I began to unpack basically the mechanics of behind bonsai. It's almost like the great magician, right? That then finally kind of reveals how he did that trick. And I'm like, that's true, and that's how they're able to grow. So I began to say, oh, this is not so much magic. This is just really, it is a horticulture practice. That then I also became aware that it's not only being able to grow these beautiful trees in pots, but it's also an art form. You have to actually shape them, right? So for me, then became a fascinating practice, because I could really marry my two loves, basically art and horticulture, together. And ever since then, I've been completely mesmerized by it to this day.
Yeah, right. I mean, once you start to figure out just a few basics, it really is mind blowing, right? You're like, wait a minute, I might actually be able to do this.
Yes.
Early on, especially for someone like myself who found bonsai later in life, I'm sort of embarrassed to think about all the trees that I killed, trying to learn how to do it. But it does. There's just a couple of learnings, and then it just sort of clicks, and then it's like, wow, this is super cool. And then you start to throw in the design, it's even better. So okay, well, let's talk a little bit about the combination, right, of bonsai and art, and then sort of both of our thought processes and decisions about NFTs. Why, when I called you up, I think I emailed you or something, right? I was like, hey, you
Sure
know,
did.
I'm thinking about an NFT. What do you think? You know, and you were like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, both of us definitely come at this from a position of learning, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's a new medium, right? So it's not like
exactly.
anyone's really an expert. But yeah,
Yeah.
why NFTs for you? What, you know, what made you want to try this out?
Yeah, well, you just said it, Greg. I mean, it's a medium, right? It's a new medium. Certainly has been huge now for artists. Just recently, the NFTs is everybody talks about NFTs, right? So, as I said before, when I was doing, I studied fine arts, but out of fine arts, I wanted to do a little bit of animation, and I wanted to do design. I wanted to do what is brand identity all about, all that stuff. And so I've never been shy to try new kind of mediums. And NFT is just yet another one that I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what is this NFT everybody's talking about? And again, and when you approach me on it, I mean, admittedly, as you know, I'm still educating myself on it, but it sounds like a really brave new world for artists, certainly for a lot of other uh, things, but certainly for artists has become a big thing. And as a new medium, it's exciting for me to kind of offer, my artistic sort of offerings, if you will, in this new medium. I also think that NFTs as a medium, I'm just wondering, and now beginning to explore what the NFT as a medium can do for me, or will force me to, maybe will force me to think different ways that maybe other mediums have not. So I'm
Sure.
just really curious to see what NFT can do for me as an artist that other mediums have not been able to. So really, really kind of exciting to kind of explore this whole NFT space for sure.
Yeah, I've actually sort of found art through bonsai. So again, in order to progress, I think as a bonsai artist, I felt like I needed to get better at art and design and understanding it. And so then I started to do some art of my own and draw, and it's all really horrible, but it's not really about the product as much as the process, right? And learning and understanding and all that kind of stuff. And so it's made me appreciate art in a way that I really never have. And NFTs in particular, I think you and I at one point were talking about the show down in Miami that you
Yes.
were aware of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the NFT world, it was a really big deal. A lot of artists went down there, a lot of really, really cool art, especially on the Tezos platform, which is the platform we're on. And and then I think you and I jumped on a meeting and you said, did you see that art show in Miami? And I'm like, yeah, it's a big deal, right? And it never had really been a big deal before in the
it was like mind-boggling to me because at Art Basel in Miami, and a lot of artists showed up with NFTs.
yeah.
So really kind of exciting, whereas traditionally they show up with a painting or installation of sorts, which is all exciting as well for sure. But it was like eye-opening to me that so many were offering NFTs and they were selling. And we're talking about very well-known artists, some of them. So very, very interesting.
For sure. All right. Well, okay. So we have the first collection here, which of course we're super excited about. Hopefully over the next, couple of months, few months, you'll be able to, put 10 to 12 pieces together, and we're hoping to get those out. We've got the first 3 done, and today is Monday, the 31st of January, and we actually put your first edition on sale on the website, and we'll be sure to put all the links to your collection in the notes here of our video. But what I want to do is bring that first piece up, and we can talk a little bit about it. If you want to share a little bit about your thought process and kind of what you're thinking with the collection, that'd be awesome. And then, we'll just take it from there. So let me see what I can do here. 1 second.
Great.
All right. Are you seeing that on your side, Sergio?
Yeah.
Okay. So so this is the first piece. Like we said, we've got 50 editions of these out and about. Why don't you talk a little bit about this piece and sort of what your thoughts are on it?
Yeah, so with this collection, not just with this piece, which is going to be all, there's going to be thematically all related to each other with the bonsai theme, basically, with the bonsai subject. And of course, as you see, this is also a bonsai being shown here. I think that this piece was kind of born from the idea, basically, is like when I love the art of bonsai because for me is the art of evoking, right? You're evoking a tree in nature. You're evoking a scene, perhaps. You're not necessarily telling people what you're looking at, but you're kind of engaging the audience, to use their imagination to see what they can see, what they would like to see. So it's almost a little bit like bonsai for me is a little bit of filling the blanks. You suggest, you evoke, and let the audience see what they want to see. And I'm sure that you ask 20 people and you may get 30 different answers on the reaction to one bonsai. So in this case, it kind of relates to that whole theme of what do you see when you see a tree, right? Do you? Some folks may see a tree maybe in the mountains, and maybe the other people can see that same tree in a valley or such. And in this case, again, it's sort of related to that whole concept of like, what do you see? So here, the bonsai, as you can see, there's a window cut out and into an image that is could be or not completely related. I mean, we're planning, as we spoke, Greg, we're going to do a few versions of this, and that
Yeah.
image in the center, you know, it almost could be an image that is completely unexpected and completely unrelated to the bonsai subject. So it's a little bit, again, conceptually is tied into that whole idea of what do you see when you see that tree. There is an element, obviously, of surrealism. A lot of the pieces will have that, and there is also, in many instances, I think that there is a lot of surprising contrasts in these pieces. For example, we tend to think of bonsai as little trees. In some of these pieces, we may see them, in fact, as giant pieces. So I'm kind of flipping or turning the tables a little bit, or turning the bonsai practice a little bit upside down, to kind of serve the subject of bonsai in hopefully in fresh and surprising ways. I would like to try as much as I possibly can, and I hope I'm successful in that, trying to filling the gap between those are into the bonsai practice, those are know bonsai very well, and those are maybe they don't know much about bonsai, but they appreciate art.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's a little bit of a bridge there that this collection can sort of act as a gap.
Yeah.
Can,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
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 Oh,
I love the this sort of window concept, right? And how the sort of the art around the window is that, yeah, the surrealism, I suppose. And then when I look and peer into the window, I get this sort of level of detail with the mountains in the background.
yeah.
And then also, and I don't know about you, but I know a lot of us bonsai artists, we take so much inspiration from the mountains and the trees
Sure.
and the mountains. And
Sure.
so,
Yeah.
that definitely speaks to me as well. So yeah, it's a great piece. I think this particular piece will lend itself well to further interpretations. And I'm excited to see what those will look like as we continue. So I'm gonna stop that for now, and then hopefully I'll bring us back here. So yeah, okay, awesome. So yeah, as of the time of this taping, I think I think we were well over half of those editions being sold. So congratulations on your first group of NFT art. I have no doubt that we'll sell those out soon.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we've got 2 more pieces that are done and are actually in the same collection. And we're looking to auction those off. One, we're going to auction off February 4th, and the next one at February 18th. So for those of you watching at home, definitely check out our Discord, Nifty Trees. We'll have all these links at the bottom here. Sergio's got a great Instagram page, and so we'll link to that as well. So check out our links and stay tuned for some more Sergio NFT art. How does that sound, Sergio?
Sounds great to me, Greg. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
All right.
you have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Greg.
Okay.
Bye-bye.